My name is Jesper Scharstein, and today we should see how our freeze dryers and all the connections is made so you can operate and start up working with a freeze dryer. When you order a freeze dryer, it will be together with this, the cool trap itself, and with all hose connection, clamps and the connections to the vacuum pump. All that will be included. The main switch will be on here to put on the cooling system, and then you can see the temperature and all the pressure here when we are talking the basic and the pro versions. We will have a new generations where there will be an electrical switch here that will be for opening and closing the vacuum valve between the pump and the cool trap itself. When you order the vacuum pump here, then it will be included the oil mist filter. The oil mist filter will prevent that you get an oil fume into the lab. There will also be a clamp connected, so you can connect the hose from the vacuum pump to the back of the freeze dryer. For the connection of the hose from the back of the freeze dryer to the vacuum pump, you will start to connect the hose connector here. Make sure that you have the O-ring in between connected on here. It is so that the new generations of the Pro and the basic freeze dryers will also have an internal vacuum valve, which is operated from the front, just like the touch model is. You connect the hose connection, just tighten it a little bit. Then you put on the hose with the clamps. Tight it to make sure that you do not get any leaks, as leaks will interrupt the freeze drying process. We do have an O-ring, we do have the hose connector and the clamp. And that one you just tighten with your fingers, you don't need any tools for that. So, connect the hose and tighten the clamp. So now all the connections from the vacuum pump to the freeze dryer is ready. Well, now the last remaining thing is just simply to connect the main cord, power cord, so we can get power to our unit for operation. We have one power cord for the cool trap, and we will have one power cord for the vacuum pump itself. So, and now we are ready for the operation. Alright, now we have made the connection of the freeze dryer, and we are now ready to start the real freeze drying itself. In order to have your samples inside the freeze dryer, you need to have a chamber or a manifold or anything else. But the first thing, which is the most important, is our ACPL lid. The lid will be placed here, and is a kind of, you could say, an adapter between the CoolSafe and whatever chamber you will put on top. If we take the manifold, that will fit into the hole in between, and here you then can have the hose, the flask for doing the freeze drying. You could also have a CCS 200 chamber with a rack, which you just place. You will have your pre-frozen samples in your trays and your shelves. Connect your chamber on top, and now you have a freeze dryer with a CCS 200 chamber. Or use the same ACPL lid with a CCS 300 chamber, or even up to a 500 chamber. Like this, and it will be ready for operation. One important thing before we really start the freeze drying is actually to make sure that the condenser is in correct low temperature and the vacuum pump is correct high temperature. So start the cooling system and start the vacuum pump approximately 1 hour before you really want to do the freeze drying. And you will do that, you have your pre-frozen samples plot on here, and then you can open the vacuum valve either by the push button here or on the touch metal on the touchscreen itself. I think that will be all, and I wish you good luck with the freeze drying in the future.